There we go. Oop, wrong place. Sorry, I gotta make an announcement real quick. What's up, everybody? Not too shoddy. How you doing? My name. How you doing? Sheep. What up? What up, Ryan? 6 days a week. Yeah, I was actually just taking a nap. So it's been a pretty good day today. I was just chilling, and then I looked down at my phone and saw a bunch of Discord notifications and ran upstairs. So yeah, thanks everybody for letting me know, because I didn't expect these documents to be until 5. If they came in like at 3, then they submitted this really early. So yeah. There we go. But yeah, so right now it looks like there's only one document. Let me pull up court listener, and I'm gonna actually go to Pacer. And make sure there's not more. Well, let me just make sure. No. The docket, and then I got to check the deadlines as well. So yeah, it's just the one today so far. There might be more. And then let me check the schedule. So it looks like, yeah, there's a note, still the noting date for today. The 26th is still there. The FRCP is still there on the 26th. So yeah, it looks like we'll just get right into the documentation. But yeah, it's just a one document. Sweet. I appreciate it, Cheese. Thanks. Good guy. Let's go. 100% a derp stand. Hope my beard gets to be 7% of his one day. This is, I trimmed it not too long ago. I got to trim it. I just pulled, damn it, I'm shedding. One of my grays just fell out. No, Phantom, you haven't missed anything. We just, like, literally just opened the document. This is just starting. So yeah, this is it's all pretty new. I haven't read a single line of this. This is the defendant's reply to plaintiff's opposition to the motion for relief from initial disclosures, deadline, and for a protective order to stay discovery pending resolution of the motion to dismiss. Kabian, whoa, what's up? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, let's get this party started. Thank you everybody for signing in. Thank you, Kabian, for the super. I appreciate that so much. What up, Mr. What up, Mr. Decimate? Yeah, this was submitted by Iron Mace. So let me adjust my little earbuds here. There we go. Starting to get a little hot in my office. What up, good guy Dave? So this should be a banger because it's an Iron Mace document. I love Iron Mace documents, not just because I'm like biased towards them, but just because their lawyer is like just straight facts and straight fire. He comes with the heat, right? So yeah, let's get to it. So it has an introduction. It's only 11 pages, so this should be pretty quick. Let's see who submitted it. Probably is Aaron Moss. It doesn't say yet. It just says it's on behalf of the defendants. And that they're requesting oral arguments. So they're going to get to oral arguments sometime soon. So yeah, this is new to the case. Or, well, I don't know if they threw the case. I don't think they threw the case out yet. So they have a bunch of citations here. Table of authorities. So they've cited a bunch of cases. So let's get right into it. We haven't figured anything out yet. So, yeah, the parties have fully briefed a dispositive motion to dismiss the forum nonconvenience, the FNC motion, that, if granted, will end this case. Given the burden of conducting English language discovery when all of the parties are Korean, their witnesses speak Korean, and their documents are written in Korean, the court should stay discovery pending resolution of this motion. So this is in response to Nexon's request to move forward with discovery. And this is Iron Mace saying, no, we want the stay. We don't want to do discovery because it's going to cost a bunch of money. Yeah, so hopefully this is from Aaron Moss. It already kind of sounds like it. It is. Nexon's argument was already, like, they made some valid points, but their points are kind of hypocritical. Like, if Iron Mace's argument hadn't already been heard, Nexon's last points would have been super valid. But since Iron Mace's argument exists, it's hard to, and like because of the way that the case has been playing out, Nexon's arguments don't really hold as much water. They're like valid and legal and straightforward arguments, but they've already refuted their own arguments, which is hilarious. But let's get right to it. The FNC motion is dispositive. If the courts grant the FNC motion, this action will end. For that reason, courts routinely grant stays of discovery while a form of nonconvenience motion is pending. They cite Vivendi versus T-Mobile, granting stay because a motion to dismiss from forum nonconvenience does not generally warrant a detailed development of the case through discovery. So, if you see here, hold on one second. I need some Benadryl or something. Sorry about that, my allergies. So, granting a stay because a motion to dismiss from forum nonconvenience does not generally warrant a detailed development of this case through discovery. What they're basically saying here, and what this case says, as they actually quoted, see Nexon, you can actually quote the cases inside your documentation. What this says is essentially that even if like the discovery can still be used, it's not going to be detailed. It's not going to be very detailed because they're not going to have a long discovery period. Because if the case gets thrown out, they're only going to have like a week or two of discovery, right? So it doesn't make sense to move forward with discovery when there's only going to be like a week or two of discovery, and it's just going to cost 3 times as much money as it needs to, right? So yeah, what's up, Carito? These are new docs. We just started. This is literally the first page. So yeah, this was probably sent early this morning or last night, and they're probably going to go into some kind of arguments today. or this might be the last piece of evidence that the judge looked at before making a decision. If the judge made a decision today, then that means, so today's the deadline for everything to be in for that decision, and then the judge would usually make a decision to like that same day. In this case, something like this motion. But we should know about that sometime probably between 5 p.m. to like 10 p.m. in Seattle time, because the judge might not make her decision until end of day. And this might be what Iron Mace submitted super early this morning, in which case the judge has already looked at it. So we have to keep in mind when we're reading these documents that these documents are getting to us after they've been verified, confirmed, and filed with the digital documentation systems, right? So not dismissing the whole case, there's a possibility that we'll know if the discovery is dismissed or the discovery is put on stay. So the case, if the judge makes the decision tonight, like by 5 o'clock, so she still has another hour to make this decision, she'll submit it to the court. It'll go into effect then, right? As soon as she submits it to the court and signs off on it, it's effective then. However, Pacer and court listener won't get it for another 3 to 5 hours. And the way that court listener works is they get all of their information from Pacer. So, and then the way Pacer works is that they update at certain times in the day. And almost all U.S. government agencies, like including Social Security, disability, like food stamps, the courts, everything that's a federal agency has to undergo some kind of mandatory maintenance like every night, and they usually shut down the servers and restart the servers and update the servers at 10 p.m. So like if you're trying to sign up for food stamps and you try to sign into your account at like 10:01 p.m., it won't let you. So wait, if the case gets thrown out in the U.S., how likely are we to get early access or another test, in my opinion? So I would say it really depends on Iron Mace. If Iron Mace needs the money, they have a very good window of opportunity to release early access. So if they need the money, even though there's still a court case going on in Korea, there's going to be like a month to 2 month window. If the case gets dismissed or an injunction goes through in the United States, there's going to be like a month to 2 month window where Nexon can't file a DMCA, right? And that overlaps with the decision to get an injunction in Korea. So it's if the case is dismissed in the United States or there's an injunction in the United States, that serves as a good indicator that they're kind of winning. I would say a dismissal isn't really a good indicator that they're winning. It just means that they had a valid contract in place, right? But if they get an injunction around the 26th, then that means that they have a good indication that they have a strong case, right? If they're awarded an injunction or a modified injunction, that serves as a good indicator that they have a very strong case, especially in the United States. So if there's an injunction in the United States on the 26th, then it's highly likely that they'll release EA, because that means Korea will probably follow suit with some kind of modified injunction. If there's a dismissal, it's really up to more of, we'd still prefer a dismissal because then everything just gets thrown to Korea, right? It's just better that they don't have to fight two cases. It's better for Iron Mace. But if there's a dismissal, it means that they had a contract in place, and the courts feel that Korea is a better place to fight this. No, the injunction in Korea doesn't happen on the 26th. There's two injunctions at play here. There's actually four technically, but there's two sets of injunctions in place. One in the United States, one in Korea. The U.S. injunction should be heard at the early case conference, which is July 26th. So whether the U.S. injunction is July 26th. So either way, if there's a dismissal or an injunction, Iron Mace has like a very small window to release early access, like legitimately and legally, where Nexon can't DMCA them. Because right now the only thing preventing, like legally speaking, the only thing preventing Iron Mace from releasing anything is the threat of the DMCA from Nexon. And if the injunction go through or the dismissal go through, that threat is no longer there. And that goes, if either one, the dismissal or the injunction happen, then the threat of the DMCA goes away because there's no court case, or in the case of the dismissal, there wouldn't be a court case to use to back up the DMCA until Nexon appealed. In the case of the injunction, it will actually prevent Nexon from sending DMCAs in the United States legally. Like, they can't send it unless they want to break a court order. And then if they do, they could get fined and sued by Iron Mace. So the DMCA prevents them from releasing because, so the way that the DMCA work is basically just a takedown notice. And they sent one to Steam, and they planned they put forward an argument that sounded like they planned on sending one to AWS. So say Iron Mace releases Dark and Darker, right? Nexon could just send a DMCA to AWS that hosts, like the host of the game, and AWS would have to pull their game off of their servers. The problem with that for Nexon is that can actually take anywhere from a week to 2 weeks. Sorry. Or up to a month, depending on what type of service it is. So by the time the playtest was over, AWS wouldn't have even recognized the DMCA yet, right? So it didn't make sense for Nexon to send their DMCA to Amazon when the playtest would have been over by the time the game was taken off forcibly. But they put forward Nexon put forward some kind of documentation that hinted at that they would serve AWS with a DMCA if necessary. And that would take the game off from being hosted at all, right? And they would just continue to do that with any US-based hosting service. So anywhere even if they had their own launcher, they would effectively have to have their own servers, which cost hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to make, right? So they'd have to dump millions of dollars into having their own US servers. And then they'd probably only scale so large, right? And they'd have to end up going with AWS or anything eventually when they got bigger, because they have a higher server capacity, right? So it just doesn't make sense to do EA right now, even though that's perfectly legal. The DMCA is just preventing them from doing it because there's the threat of the court case, and an ongoing court case. The DMCA actually works. But if that threat of the court case, and if the court case goes away, then that DMCA doesn't matter. They can't nobody has to listen to the DMCA. So, and even if they tried, if there was an injunction against Iron Mace or against Nexon in place, if Nexon tried to send out a DMCA and have the game taken down, Iron Mace could fine them like $200,000. So, because there's a court order in place for them to not DMCA, right? So an injunction would actually prevent Nexon from DMCAing them directly in the US. The dismissal would prevent them by means of there being no applicable lawsuit until they filed for an appeal. Actually, until they were granted appeal. So they would have 30 days to file for an appeal, and then they would have to be granted the appeal, and then they would have to basically win the appeal to get a DMCA back in place. I mean, I would say that they would probably go directly through Steam. If there was no threat of a DMCA, I think they would just relaunch on Steam, to be perfectly honest. It depends on if they need the money, though, because there's the whole Korean court that you have to worry about. And there's an injunction there against, or there, Nexon's trying to get an injunction against them in Korea as well. So yeah. Excuse me, my allergies are kind of messed up. So, motion to so yeah, we left off here. And allowing discovery would pose an undue burden on the defendants, according to TransUnion Court versus PepsiCo, affirming the stay of discovery pending forum nonconvenience motion, Communications Gateway versus Gartner, granting stay pending from forum nonconvenience motion, the same as this. Courts do this, of course, because a successful forum nonconvenience motion ends the litigation in that forum. If the motion is granted, this case would either be dismissed or transferred. Either result would be a final conclusion of the case. Exactly. Defendants cited in their moving papers. Nexon argues that the FNC motion raises factual issues, and so a stay is improper. But that is not the standard. Instead, the courts consider whether the pending motion may be decided without additional discovery. They do something I don't like here. Iron Maces is a huge no-no. Don't cite cases without quoting them. Don't do this. This is bad. This makes your argument look shitty. Nexon has conceded that it needs no further discovery to oppose the FNC motion. Indeed, the motion is fully briefed. This factors to okay, so they're claiming that Nexon has already conceded that it doesn't need any further discovery to oppose the FNC. Indeed, the motion is fully briefed, so they've already been fully briefed. This two factors favors a stay. Granting stay because the motion is fully briefed and the plaintiff has not shown a need for discovery from defendants at this point in the litigation. So what they're saying is basically that Nexon hasn't asked for anything yet. So why do they need, if they need discovery or they need information, all they have to do is ask for it. But they haven't even asked for anything yet. Right? So according to Iron Mace, Nexon's fully briefed, essentially on the fact that Nexon hasn't asked for anything. The risk of prejudice to defendants support granting a stay. Nexon severely downplays the prejudice to defendants if discovery commences here, suggesting that discovery in the United States is no more burdensome than if proceeded in Korea. But Nexon ignores the massive language barrier between English and Korean, as explained in detail in defendant's motion. Of all the parties and witnesses are Korea. Speakers living in Korea. All relevant evidence will be in Korean, while Nexon blithely suggests that some documents, such as parties' DMCA correspondence, are in English. That's hilarious. 2 letters exchanged by U.S. counsel does not tip the scales given the scope of evidence in Korean. That's hilarious. What's up, Stoneheart? What's up, Tough RPG? Connor Berry, Tequila, Grubby Boy, what up? How you guys doing? Yeah, so Lucas Duffy, thanks for joining. These are new documents from today. The short answer, Stoneheart, is I think that we'll probably see early access at the earliest sometime between January or July 26th to like August, the end of August, like August 30th. Would be the earliest, and at the latest would be November. Yeah, so early access is probably sometime very late in July to late August is when my most likely scenario, and then if we get unlucky, it would probably be sometime in November. What's up, Stefan? Kevin, how you doing? What up? Yeah, we're looking hopeful. I mean, this argument, they're making some pretty good arguments so far, but we're only really 3 pages in. This dispute is about whether defendants misappropriated trade secrets from Nexon and whether the game they designed infringes on Nexon's copyright. If Nexon's approach to litigating this case is so far if Nexon's approach to litigating this case so far is any indication, it will likely seek burdensome and wide-ranging discovery. So what they're basically saying is that Nexon is being shady, and they're trying to be burdensome and make the case draw out. The key evidence will involve, among other things, emails among Nexon's P3 project team reflecting P3 development and the work Choi and Park perform, project notes, planning documents, market research, and purported trade secrets developed by Nexon. Emails, project notes, planning documents, and other documentation of the development of Dark and Darker's defendants. Of Dark and Darker by defendants. So they're basically this is hilarious. This is hilarious and also very, very smart. So what they're insinuating is that Nexon is going to say that they're going to ask for a lot of stuff in discovery in the United States, which is why they need discovery. However, the key evidence is going to involve, and that like they're going to argue that a lot of it is going to be in English anyway. And then what Iron Mace is doing is basically giving the U.S. courts a full list of the evidence that they've already given in Korea. And then stating directly after that all of this evidence was in Korean because they've already given it, right? They've already given it in the Korean court. What up, Autumn? How you doing? So this is all of the evidence that they've already given in Korea. And it's all in Korean. And they didn't ask for it, and Nexon didn't ask for anything else. So that's pretty hilarious. They're like, we already know what Nexon's going to ask for because they've already asked for it in Korea, and we've already given it. And it's right here. Here is exactly what they've asked for, and it was all in Korean. And Nexon hasn't asked the court for anything new in the United States yet. Of course, Just. Draw Rule, what up? Uh-oh. Are we under attack? Let me go over to... I gotta get my, get into place. Are we under attack here? Who is messing with our owl? Nobody messes with our owl friend. All hands on deck. Defend our owl friend. And hey, who blocked out our friends over there on the right? Oh, we are under attack for sure. Look at all these pixels. I just hope we don't get attacked by a bot. Hold the line, everybody. There's 91 people here. I don't want to see us lose a single pixel on r/place. We're under attack. I already used mine. I have 5 minutes to go. So Nexon's suggestion: by an 11K streamer. Oh shit. Hey, we only have 91 people in here, 92 people in here, but let's keep it. Lost 40% of the logo in like 30 seconds. Oh shit. Hold the line. Our little owl friend's getting murdered. Did we kick that streamer out and tell him to go somewhere else? Put a little box around our logo here. Shit. Okay, so Nexon's suggestion that some bilingual people working for defendants can simply determine what is relevant and isolate that material for translation is wholly unrealistic. That's exactly what I said. Discovery involves more than involves more than hand selecting a few relevant documents. It involves identification of sources and information and custodian, collection of that material, and painstaking review to determine if any material has the potential to lead to the discovery of admissible evidence. Right? Everything has to be certified, including the translators. Translation will be necessary even to discern what might be relevant. Indeed, it is this inherent burden that causes the courts to grant discovery stays pending a non-convenience motion. See this court. And then they actually quoted it this time. Good job. Permitting plaintiff to engage in extensive discovery would pose an undue burden on defendants. Conducting extensive discovery in a foreign jurisdiction is likely to be expensive and time-consuming for both the court and the parties. The high burden on engaging in discovery, much of which will involve locating evidence and witnesses in London and Australia, outweighs the potential harm to plaintiffs for any discovery delay, requiring foreign defendants of all of whom are located in Korea and all of whose relevant documents are in Korea to begin conducting discovery in the U.S. would be unduly burdensome. By contrast, Nexon cannot show any prejudice. A delay of the commencement of discovery at the outset of the case is not inherently prejudicial. New World, either Media or Medical Incorporated versus whatever. So what's in the footnotes? Nexon speculates without evidence that this burden should be discontinued because defendants must have deep-pocketed backers. A party need not be on the brink of insolvency to be spared from undue burden. So basically, we don't have to be going under. Oh shit, we're getting hit hard. Look at all these. That's gnarly. There we go. That's good. There we go. Take all those pixels back. Oh no, the owl's crying. I hate to see it. I hate to see the owl tears. Oh shit. Who would do that? Who would destroy that beautiful, majestic owl carrying a torch for a beloved game? Who would even dare do such a thing? What up, Austin? Austin, so this is just Iron Mace's response to Nexon's opposition to their stay of discovery. What up? What up, Turdlack? Aquila? Yeah, so this is Iron Mace's reply to Nexon's opposition to the stay of discovery. A party need not be on the brink of insolvency to be spared from undue burden, nor must the court evaluate confidential financial records to conclude that discovery in a foreign language in a foreign litigation is expensive and burdensome. Nexon seems to chaff at the suggestion that it is a large company trying to put a small company out of business. Exactly. It has only itself to blame for that. Basically, what Iron Mace is saying is that even if they do have money, it doesn't really matter how much money they have. Financial burden is still financial burden, and the fact that Nexon claims that Iron Mace has a lot of money is hilarious because Nexon is a multi-billion-dollar company, right? And they are the ones pushing forth the lawsuit and trying to get discovery. So why would they complain about how much money it's going to cost when they're literally worth tens of billions of dollars, or like $10 billion, and B, they're the ones bringing forth the lawsuit. What up, the alert? Andy Hayes. Yeah, so actually, Andy Hayes, that's a really good point. This sort of tit for tat reply to a reply and motions following other motions is a very, 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 very slippery slope. And if Iron Mace and Nexon don't cut it out, like if they don't just kind of wait and see what like this is the last reply. if Nexon files a reply to this reply or tries to file another SIR reply after this, I would not be surprised if if the entire discovery process and if all of the motions and documentation for the motion to dismiss and the motion to stay discovery get thrown out. Like if all of these declarations and replies might be thrown out, because what they're doing is called abusive briefing, and abusive briefing is when you basically draw the decision out because of repetitive replies and motions and SIR replies. Now, there's a case that I cite for that, or an article that I cite by the American Bar Association that goes over this. And the case that they cite in that article had about 8 replies, and then the judge basically just said enough of this shit and had all of their disclosures stricken and said, you guys have to make a joint disclosure or a joint statement, which means that both sets of lawyers from the set of lawyers from Iron Mason and the set of lawyers from Nexon have to work together on one single document that exposes the truth. And if they can't agree and both parties don't sign off on it, they'll just throw it out, right? So, or they won't move the case forward, and they'll give them a deadline. So they might get this case just thrown out and restart the case, in which case it's just a huge waste of time and money for the court, and the court would be exceptionally pissed off, and the people they'll be pissed off at is Nexon. So hopefully, if Nexon's smart, they won't push forward with another reply to this, but they haven't been super smart so far, in my opinion. Because otherwise there's going to be a joint statement released, and it's gonna suck, because that might actually end up pushing back the July 26th date for the dismissal and the discovery process and the injunctions and all that, which would be shitty. That's an exception that the judge would make. She would just put everything on hold until they can come to a settlement to an agreement on one statement. Yeah, essentially, it puts Iron Mason in a tough spot. I think Nexon would be more willing to risk all of this shit getting thrown out and looking bad and looking like idiots and pissing off the judge if it buys them a little bit more time, right? I think they'd be willing to light the whole courtroom on fire on camera if it bought them an extra month, right? They don't really care because they're looking for a settlement and trying to waste Iron Mason's money. But that's a very dangerous situation, and if the court or Iron Mace can prove that Nexon is doing that intentionally and trying to intentionally damage the court and waste their time, they'll have this entire case thrown out with prejudice, and Nexon will get fined. So, the courts do not put up with that shit. So, Dreamer of the Hidden Mist. So the funny part is, even though this would be considered bad faith, bad law, it's actually very smart, because the closer they get to that line and the more they push this out, the more they draw the court out, and the likelihood that they're if you don't look at this from the point of Nexon is trying to win the case, they're trying to go to trial and win. If you take that even possibility and just throw it away, and throw the possibility that Nexon even wants to go to trial out the window, and just look at Nexon wants to settle this case for as much money as possible, then Nexon is being very, 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 very smart. And they're doing everything they can to siphon as much money out of Iron Mason as settlement as possible. And they're doing a very good job of it. What they're not doing is putting themselves into a good position to win this case. So if this case goes to trial, they have a small chance of actually winning, in my opinion, at least so far. So, it doesn't look great for Nexon, because what they're putting out as arguments and what they're putting out for evidence doesn't really match up, and they haven't even been asking for a lot of documentation or evidence to begin with. But they're trying to settle outside of court for a shit ton of money from Iron Mace. They're not trying, and they probably also want a non-disclosure agreement in place saying that Iron Mace can't go back to Korea and be like, we won, Nexon's evil, and we proved it in court. They want like a non-disclosure in place so that Nexon can go back to Korea and say, we won, we're the good guys, Iron Mace is evil, don't buy their games, because they don't want the competition in Korea. Nexon hasn't been able to break into the United States. I think their most successful game in the United States so far is like Dave the Diver, and as of now, and Dave the Diver isn't that huge. So like, I really don't think that, like, they want, I think what they're trying to do is, like, in the grand scheme of things, I think Nexon is trying to break it off to where Nexon can't get a foothold in Southeast Asia, or Iron Mace can't get a foothold in Southeast Asia and Korea, and has to focus on the US market because Nexon hasn't been able to break into the US market anyway, right? Like, they don't really care if Iron Mace is as successful in the United States. They just don't want them eating their pie at home, right? In China, and they want to hurt their deal with Tencent. They don't want them going to China, that because Nexon makes a ton of money through Tencent in China. They make a ton of money in Korea. They make a ton of money in Japan, and a ton of money in the rest of Southeast Asia. So if Iron Mace can get a foothold in Southeast Asia and China, then that starts eating into Nexon's piece of the pie, right? But yeah, so like, I don't think they care as much about Iron Mace being as successful as they are in the United States. I think, in my opinion, they just really don't want Iron Mace to look good in Korea. So like, their biggest things are probably get as much money as possible and force Iron Mace into a non-disclosure, so that they look like assholes and so they could demonize them in Southeast Asia and Korea and China and stuff. That's my assumption. And I haven't really, like, ever since I started reading actual documentation and going over the notes from the court cases, to me, this has just been a settlement case the entire time, and they just want to make Iron Mace look bad. I think this reply is okay for Iron Mace, but I highly, like, if Iron Mace is, like, their lawyers know a lot more than I do, but they have to be like, should we put forward another response or not? Like, they have to be questioning the idea of putting forward another response. And because this is a reply to a separate motion, I think they're okay. But if they try to do more replies, it's going to be a bad look for Nexon and Iron Mace. But I don't think Nexon really cares, to be honest. So I've actually asked. So, one of them is a couple. It's my friend Matt and his wife. They don't want to, because they are actually in the process. They don't really want to get involved in this, and because they're in the process of starting a nonprofit organization, and they just don't really want to go on camera and being like, YouTube. They don't want to get involved in YouTuber drama and court drama like this. They're interested because of the game, but they don't really want to, like, go on record and be a part of it. Now, my friend Sean is an author, and he's kind of in the same situation. He doesn't want to like be on YouTube publicly for this kind of stuff, because he actually, like, just quit being a full-time lawyer to go to being an author. So to him, this is actually work, right? He plays the game a little. He's not, like, super stoked. Like, he likes the game. He's not super stoked on it. But to him, this is more of kind of like me asking him to do work. So he just doesn't really want to be involved with it. And if he comes on YouTube, he wants to talk about his books, not being a lawyer, right? He got out of that. He got out of being a lawyer for a reason. He doesn't want to do it anymore. He's a little older. He's kind of like semi-retired, and he just writes for a living. But yeah, they don't really want to. So I've reached out to YouTube lawyers who I've been talking to about the case. One of them is a patent lawyer. He declined to do a YouTube segment about this because he's a patent lawyer and he doesn't feel comfortable speaking about intellectual property law. He says he's, like, well versed in it, but that's not his official, um, what would I call it? Like his official, you know, practice. He doesn't practice IP law. He practices patent law. So it's similar but slightly different, right? And he doesn't really want to get involved in that. Yeah, they don't want to talk. They don't want to risk their. Yeah, they don't want to risk their credibility. It's because like if they're wrong, they don't want to be wrong on camera, right? And they don't want to talk like, even though like one of them is a corporate lawyer, they don't want to be. They're not an IP lawyer specifically. They don't want to be on camera when they're trying to start a nonprofit, being wrong about IP law when they're a lawyer. The IP lawyer who's now an author, um, quit law for a reason. But yeah, like Legal Eagle makes a shit ton of money on YouTube, right? Like my buddies don't want to come up here. My buddy, especially the ones who are still practicing lawyers, they don't want to come on camera and then end up being wrong about something, which they might be, right? Like they're human, being wrong, but like that's not their specialty. The practicing lawyers are corporate lawyers, so they don't want to come. They don't want to come on here and be wrong and lose credibility when they're trying to start like a nonprofit and stuff, right? Like they have real life shit going on, real life shit going on, and that's just how they make their money. Um, but yeah, they don't want to act like when they talk to me, they make it very clear that they're not acting in their capacity as a lawyer. Like I'm not paying them as a lawyer to represent me for this case or like go over this case as a lawyer. It's my friends who happen to be lawyers talking about stuff that happens to be legal documents, right? And they're giving me their personal opinion, not like what they're not advising me in a lawyer capacity. So yeah, it's really tricky when you talk about this stuff. Like I'm not a lawyer. Like you guys all know that I'm not a lawyer. I've made it very clear in numerous videos and in the descriptions of my videos that I'm not a lawyer. I do talk to lawyers. They're not acting in their capacity as lawyers. Like I make it pretty clear, but like it's still risky for a lawyer to come on YouTube and talk about legal issues because they are licensed lawyers and could lose their license, right? So it's just a shitty situation. So they don't want to risk it. They don't want to do it. And they live in California, and I don't live in California, so I'd have to fly them out here, and I just don't have that, or like do a video conference. Um, but yeah, it's just not worth it. If they agree to, though, I would love to do it. If you're watching and you would love to come put your face on the camera and hang out and sleep in my office, I would love to see my friends again. But yeah, Reach Ice, Day Day, what up? How you guys doing? Brain, Levy, what up? But yeah, I mean, they make a lot of good arguments in this. Like this one right here, just because they have basically just says just because they have money doesn't mean that they have to spend it on discovery, and it doesn't mean that they have infinite money, right? But yeah, let's get back into it. So New World will not be prejudiced by the requested extension as the case is in its infancy and no discovery has been planned. So that's also true. There's no discovery planned yet, and Nexon hasn't asked for anything. If anybody can do like a quick TLDR, that would be super huge, and I'll pin it. Like Phantom, like you did it the other day. So if like anybody wants to throw up a quick TLDR, I'll pin it. Also, yeah, and draw rule again. If any of my friends like who are lawyers want to come and do a video with me, I would love them to do it. Matt, you and your wife have an open invitation. You guys can stay at my place like for free. I've known you guys since I was like 15. So like, but, yeah, so come hang out, but we'll go to the river. Hell yeah, Halls of Torment. I love that game. I was playing last night after I got off stream. Yeah, Aaron J. Moss is a boss. Day Day at this point, it's almost guaranteed that they have another investor. They haven't disclosed any financial. They disclosed last year's financials, and it was all just family investment. And then they had like a $400 investment from some CEO of like the CEO of NCSoft or something, like former CEO of NCSoft. One of their buddies, he gave him to him as like a friendly help, like $400. It's like 400 USD. It was like nothing. Um, this argument is of course speculative. More to the point, Nexon has already moved to a preliminary injunction in Korea to halt the distribution of Dark and Darker. If there were any ongoing harm, that Korean proceeding will be able to address it in full. By contrast, this newly filed U.S. litigation will not be resolved for many months, if not years, if that timetable does not meaningfully change if discovery is deferred pending a resolution of the FNC motion. Nexon also suggests that a stay may be prejudicial because it would only increase the likelihood that critical evidence will be unavailable once discovery begins. That's what I said last night. And when I read the last documents. Yeah, Aaron Moss doesn't come cheap at all. Here we go. Thanks, Brain. Nexon also suggests that a stay may be prejudicial because it would only increase the likelihood that critical evidence will be unavailable once discovery begins. Nexon bases that argument on its false allegations. So this is the most damaging thing that I said from the case, or like they're actually addressing the biggest point in my opinion about how there's two big points that Nexon made, and the two biggest points that Nexon made that are valid is that if the discovery goes forward in the US, yeah, that works great. So the there's two major points. One, that the U.S. discovery would give them access to more documentation than they could get in Korea, so that's a valid point, and it would give it to them quickly. And even if the second would be, even if the case does get dismissed in the U.S., anything they find in that discovery process could then be taken over to Korea as evidence because it's all been verified by the U.S. courts, and they would process the information in Korea because the U.S. courts are trustworthy, right? They're like internationally recognized courts. So any information here that's been verified and certified by the court can be used in Korea. So, and then the third point was that if the stay happens, they might not have access to that information at all, right? Because the injunction would go into place in Korea, which would prevent them from getting any information on either case at all, right? So they're kind of, Nexon's like, well, shit, if the injunction in Korea happens and we get a stay on discovery, then essentially Iron Mace can just kind of draw this case out on the US if they have the money for it, and we would never be given access to files, which is a legitimate argument to make if you were actually asking for evidence. So Nexon bases that argument on its false allegations that defendants have concealed evidence, but fears about document preservation do not warrant denial of a stay because defendants are required to keep all relevant documents once a potential claim is asserted. So what they're saying here is that essentially the way that the courts works and discovery works is once you're in a legal case, if you are caught destroying or falsifying or messing with any evidence that might pertain to a case, you can go to jail. Destruction of evidence is a crime. It's a criminal. That's a crime. It's not just fines. That's a crime. Hold on one second. I gotta blow my nose. I'm back. Faded, yeah. So Hybe is one of their potential investors, but in their last financial records, we saw that the CEO of Hybe only actually the CEO of Hybe and Hybe in total as an investor in their last financial records, which I actually saw. Um, Hybe only invested $400. Whether or not they've invested more since then, I have no idea. But like when the case first started, Nexon found their financial records and or some Korean media agency found their financial records and disclosed Iron Mace's financials and where they're getting investigation from. And Hybo's only invested with $400. So, um, yeah, I would take the Hybe theory with a grain of salt until we see otherwise. But it's possible. It's possible that Hybe did end up giving more money. Yeah, Hybe. So the CEO of Hybe is actually personal friends with Terrence from when Terrence had his own gaming studio. Um, when because he owned ThingSoft or something, and then Nexon bought them out. Um, so the CEO of Hybe and Terrence were buddies, and the CEO of Hybe gave Terrence $400 to invest in Iron Mace, which was like 0.08% of the shares or something, or like zero point 0.8, so like not even 1%. Um, whether or not they've invested more is not known. Terrence, I think, is just Terrence. Um, so Nexon bases that argument on false allegations that the defendant have concealed evidence, but fears about document preservation. Yeah, they don't have any warrants because they're required by law to keep all potential information, right? So we left off right there. And granting a stay notwithstanding a claim of prejudice as a result of document destruction, they cite Joglo Realities Inc. Granting stay because much of the evidence involved in this case will be documentary, and defendants are already under duty to preserve that information in Korea. So they have to preserve all that information in Korea and in the U.S. Whether or not the U.S. case gets dismissed, they're still required by law to preserve that documentation because of the case in Korea. So those fears and that argument is kind of unfounded that they might destroy something. Yeah, he's also craps because his initials are like I can't remember. It stands for it's backwards for something. It's like an anagram or whatever it's called. Granting a stay because much of the evidence involved in this case. Yeah, so preliminary peek at the FNC motion supports a stay. Courts in this district may take what is characterized as a preliminary peek at the merits of potentially dispositive motion to assess the property of in order to stay discovery during the underlying motion's pendency. Bosch versus United States. The court need not conclude the pending disposition motion as granted or guaranteed or succeeded to or inevitable as Nexon characterizes the standard. Sorry, my allergies are bugging. So let's open the window more. Yeah, TS Park, that's what it is. I think Terrence is actually from the US. He's dual citizenship in Korea. But he's lived in Korea for the past like 15 years or some shit. 15 or 20 years. Rather, it is enough that the moving papers show that there is a real question whether the claims will be able to proceed. a preliminary peek at the FNC motion confirms that this action should not proceed in the United States. That's according to Nexon. Or no, that's Iron Mace. Should not proceed in the United States. First and foremost, Nexon has done nothing to rebut the presumptive validity of the governing Korean forum selection clauses, which is true. The following facts are uncontroverted. Nexon's claims are that Choi and Park misappropriated trade secrets in a violation of their employment agreement and acknowledgments about company IP and formed a new company, Iron Mace, through which they have continued to misuse Nexon's trade secrets and infringement copyrights. Nexon, or the relevant agreements have mandatory forum selection clauses requiring all disputes relating to the contracts to be heard exclusively in the Seoul District Court in Korea. Nexon claims are therefore governed by those forum selection clauses. So they're saying exactly what I said, which is rad. So they're pointing out again that Nexon's entire claim is that Choi and Park misappropriated trade secrets in violation of their employment agreement. That's their entire claim. But they also claim that hold on 1 second again. I need to take a Benadryl. They also claim that these contracts aren't relevant anymore. So if the contracts aren't relevant anymore, their entire case falls apart. Like, end of story. They would have to change their case from, well, they broke the trade secrets according to our contract, to they broke trade secrets according to the law. However, the law has a very different definition of what trade secrets are than the contract that was signed. So their trade secrets argument becomes very, 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 very weak in Korea and the United States without this contract in place. So Nexon they can't just pick and choose which parts of the contract to uphold. So it doesn't work. In the face of this straightforward argument, Nexon offers two responses. First, that there might be alternate translations of the phrase relating to in the forum selection clauses. Second, that Korean court applying Korean law would not understand the forum selection clauses to govern the United States action. These arguments are meritless. Nexon did not offer a certified translation contradicting the certified translations defendants submitted. And in response to Nexon's out-of-left-field argument that Korean words do not mean what they say, defendants submitted a rebuttal declaration of a Korean language professor who affirmed that the words meant relating to, not arising under, as well as a rebuttal from a professor of Korean law. But Nexon's arguments are a sideshow. It is federal law, not Korean law, that governs the scope of forum selection clauses. So what they're arguing is that even in the U.S. law, that contract would still be applicable. And it would have to be relating to U.S. law and Korean law, that the selection clause would have to be thrown out in both places. In light of controlling forum selection clauses, all the court must consider is whether Korea is an adequate and available alternative forum, and whether the public interest factors dismissal. Even a cursory examination confirms both. Damn it, again, I'll be right back. I'm back. Sorry, I had to run and grab Benadryl. I was literally dying. In light of the controlling forum selection clauses, all the court must consider is whether Korea is an adequate and available alternate forum, and whether the public interest factors favor dismissal. So July 26th is still on, as far as we know. Yeah. Also, welcome, talented guy. Shenzi, how you doing? Day, what up? Even a cursory examination confirms both. Nexon has already filed litigation against defendants on these same claims in Korea, thereby conceding that Korea is an adequate and available forum. To hide from this conclusion, Nexon argued that because the parties are currently litigating in Suwon and not Seoul, Seoul is not an available forum. Nexon never had any authority for this proposition, and defendants rebutted it with evidence that they never denied the jurisdiction of Seoul District Court and would readily submit to it if Nexon chose to litigate in Seoul rather than Suwon. Nexon also argued that Korea is inadequate because Nexon was unable to obtain source code in Korean litigation. In reply, defendants explained that unavailability of discovery would not render an alternate forum inadequate, and that Nexon was misleading the courts because Nexon had never even asked for the Korean court to order production of source code, which it could have. Yeah, something that I went over in my last video and my last live stream, I think, on the documents. As to the public interest factors, Washington and its citizens have no interest in a dispute between Korean parties over conduct that took place entirely in Korea. See creative tech, whatever. They don't. Iron Mace, don't do what Nexon does. Quote your freaking sources, bro. Dude, this is the second time. Finally, if the court were to consider the private interest factors, those overwhelmingly support dismissal, as the likely witnesses are located in Korea and speak Korean, and all of the documentary evidence is written in Korea. Nexon has never presented any meaningful counter-argument to address these obvious burdens. Of course they haven't, because there is no argument. It's all in Korean. Nexon concedes this in its surreply, simply arguing that it chose not to pursue this discovery. They might have, but you should always quote in line, right? You always want to quote in line. Even if you've already cited it somewhere else, you still want to, like, it would have to say, like, you'd want to put, like, line 27 or, like, line 17, page 9, right? They don't even quote it in line, and Nexon was doing the same thing. And even my friends were like, why aren't they doing this? So this is a pretty common practice. It's just somewhat shady. Nexon does it a shit ton. This is only the second time I've seen it in this. This is like literally like the second or third time I've ever seen Iron Mace do it out of all of the documents I've read by them. So it's not that big of a deal. It's just frustrating because this is like, it's a very common practice, but it also just looks, it's kind of a shitty practice as well. Like cite your sources, or actually quote your sources. Don't just cite them. The problem is people do it for expediency, to save time and to save space, right? But you 99% of the time you'll want to cite inline. Finally, if the courts were to consider the private interest factors, those overwhelmingly support dismissal, as they likely went so everybody's in Korea. Nexon has never presented any meaningful counter-argument to address these burdens. Nexon concedes this in its reply, simply arguing that it chose not to pursue this discovery yet because time is of the essence in preliminary injunction proceedings, and the document request procedures are rarely used as they are too time-consuming. Nexon does not dispute A, it could have sought a document production order already, but did not, and B, if the Korean litigation proceeds past the preliminary injunction stage, Nexon will have ample time and opportunity to seek such an order then. So what they're saying is that if it gets past the injunctive state, then Nexon will still be able to ask for any information they want afterwards. They just have to file an order for it, which is all true. And that's basically it. I hereby declare under penalty of perjury. So unless we see it executed on a dated and signed document, it's not in effect yet. So all of these requests to like grant or deny motions that say like granted or denied, all that stuff that's not signed and dated isn't in effect yet. Bleachy Goes Dark. It's not anything major. Iron Mace makes a lot of very valid points. They do make two weak arguments, in my opinion, because they don't cite their sources, or they don't quote their sources. But over the large majority of this is all true. I wouldn't say it's like a huge deal. Like, I might not even make a video about this just because it's not that big of a deal. If it's injunction, this is one of the papers that I would wait. I'm going to wait and read it, and I'll send it off to my friend, see if he says there's anything important in it. If there's nothing important in it, then I'll just lump this in with another video, right? There's a TLDR by Brain at the top. Yeah, we're still just kind of waiting on the 26th. Let me see. Let me check Pacer. Oh, I'm almost logged out of Pacer. See if there's anything new over there. Yeah, nothing new. It was just the reply to a response motion. We probably won't see anything until, if it's already 5, we probably won't see anything until like 8 or 10 at PM. So that's Seattle time. So another 3 to 5 hours probably. But while I'm here, oh sweet, they're rebuilding some. Oh no, get out of here. Wait, they're rebuilding our buddy's little stuff over there. Our owl friend survived. But yeah, does anybody have any questions about the documents, or what up, Rilla? Sozu's coming back. I work at a law firm as a legal assistant. Well, I just don't have time to go through Pacer myself. Oh, there you go. Yeah, 26 is the big day. What are they saying, Bleachy? What are they saying over there? Have you asked them about any of it? And what's your opinion of my breakdowns? What do you think? How am I doing over here? Oh, gotcha. Of course, talented. Yeah, personal injury is pretty far off from IP. 26th is what's it called? The FRCP conference. They Yeah, it's the early case conference. Like they're gonna make preliminary injunction, and most likely we will probably get, if they just want to get it all over with, they'll probably make the dismissal decision then too, because they're all going to be there already. Technically, they don't have to make the dismissal decision on the early case conference. It's just they're already all going to be there, so like might as well go over it with have their final oral arguments, and if they can make the decision then, might as well. My last message was just a question without punctuation. Chances the judge says something like, "This is in regards to the motion to stay discovery until the FNC hearing. I'm just going to grant the FNC case dismissed." It's possible. I mean, that's possible. If the judge, so for something like a dismissal, a motion that's being asked, and like the stay of discovery, as far as I know, this may be wrong, but as far as I know, the judge can make on any motion that's brought forward that's not like a standard motion, that's being put forward by the defendant or the plaintiff, can be decided upon before like the deadline, right? It's usually they make like a deadline, but it's on or before. Like the decision can be made anytime on that day or before that day, but it cannot happen after. So they're given like, so say there's a motion to dismiss, they're given like a 30-day period of when they have to make a decision on that motion to dismiss, right? As to be prompt, to have a, like, because everybody's guaranteed a prompt resolution according to the, Constitution or whatever. What up, Cody Collins? So they can, like, the judge we can see tonight that, like, or what, not tomorrow because tomorrow's Saturday, but we could wake up Monday, even if we don't really hear anything else until Monday or until the 26th, like, we could wake up on Monday and the judge could be like, case dismissed with prejudice, see you later, go to Korea, right? It doesn't have to happen on any specific day. It can happen whenever the judge feels like it, basically, and that whenever the judge has enough information. She could just call them all into court and be like, I'm going to schedule, or she could put on a schedule, check her court calendar and say, hey, I have an hour free on Monday. I'm going to hold an hour or like 15 minutes of oral arguments, and then I'm going to make my decision on Monday. So either show up or I'm going to make my decision without you, right? And it's really up to the judge and the court schedule. But yeah, 26 is pretty much it, because that's when they're all going to be together. Yeah, thanks, Bleachy. Yeah, I probably wouldn't be making this type of content unless I had the experience I do, and I have access to people that not everybody has access to, right? Like, I have friends who happen to be lawyers in either similar situation in like similar professions or actually IP law, right? So and I've helped I helped my friend Nick's mom study for her paralegal, like, basically exams. Not meaning anything, but like I've read law textbooks and stuff for paralegals, so I know a little bit. I know enough to get myself into trouble, right? But oh shit, we need our HVAC. I actually need to bring my AC into my room. I have one of those portable ACs. Let's all take the bar. Yeah, like I couldn't pass the bar. Like, if I studied for like 2 years, I might be able to become like 2 to 4 years, I might be able to become a paralegal. But like, I'm not going to be a lawyer. Like, that shit's crazy. Also, that job seems really crazy. Like, just kind of shitty. Like, 80% of the time seems like a shitty job. Pays very, very well, but it seems like a shitty job 80% of the time. But yeah, it's I have enough knowledge to get myself into trouble, is the way I put it. But it's hard to be right all the time, and I think that anybody who expects like either me or One Peg to be right all the time, shouldn't, because I'm just making my opinion known. My opinion may be a little bit better researched than than One Peg or some other people, but it doesn't make his opinion any less like valid, I guess, because One Peg's a good dude. He's just doing the best he can, and as long as he's doing the best he can, and like, you know, if he makes mistakes, if he goes back and corrects himself or whatever, and does the best to keep his opinions as like factual as possible, like as long as he's not intentionally misleading people, I don't see any problem with what he's doing. Him or Kira or any of those guys, I think they should keep on doing it. I think they should keep on reading these documents and learning and going through it. That's the only way you learn more about this stuff, right? Because he goes and Googles shit live on camera. Like, I've watched some of his streams. He goes and he'll, like, if he doesn't know something, he'll go Google it. So he's learning as he goes, right? The only way he's going to learn is if he goes through these documents and, you know, does the research. I just happen to already know some of this stuff. Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with learning. Yeah. Like, and he's going to have insight that I don't, you know, because he's going to see things in a way that I don't see it. Kira's going to see stuff in a way that I don't see it. They're going to form their own opinions based on their own personal histories and their own knowledge. And, you know, it's really up to the viewers and the watchers to kind of figure out what they want to take in and rely upon as information. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and I know I have a bias. I have a bias towards I am super in favor of Iron Mace. I just try to be honest about it and try to be as fair as possible. Yeah, it's hard to tell. Like Andy, it's hard to tell what Iron Mace's next move or Nexon's next move is. You know, I've been kind of hammering on the point that we should be going for a settlement for a long time, and or not should be going that I think it's going to end in a settlement for a long time. But Iron Mace can find themselves in a position where they think they can win it and they have the money to fight it in court, and it might go on for a long time, right? Especially if there's if it doesn't get dismissed in the United States, but they do get an injunction in the U.S., and then Iron Mace fails the appeal for the injunction, or Nexon fails the appeal for the injunction, Iron Mace might end up taking this all the way to court because they have a good chance of winning it and drawing it out for 2 years. You know? Like, I don't know. I could be wrong. Or I could be wrong and it could get dismissed. You know, I've been saying that it has like a 10% to 25% chance of getting dismissed on the 26th, but I could be completely wrong on that and it might get dismissed, right? The judge might just wake up and say fuck Nexon that day and just go court dismissed or case dismissed with prejudice. So, Kevin, in that situation, if the case in the U.S. proceeds, but Iron Mace gets an injunction, and then the court case in Korea proceeds, it really depends on whether or not that Iron Mace gets a favorable injunction decision in Korea. That's really what it depends upon. Because even if everything is legal and legit in the United States, if there's a unfavorable injunction in Korea, Nexon can still go through WIPO and the World Trade Organization and The Hague to get DMCAs in America, because the U.S. and Korea have a pact together, and they have trade agreements that says that they'll uphold each other's intellectual property laws. So, since both companies are based in Korea, the Korean law supersedes the U.S. law in regards to Korean law, right? So, even though the DMCA is a U.S. tool, because both companies are based in Korea, they would default to the Korean law. And it would just take Nexon longer to DMCA in the U.S. I think they've talked about it. Yes, Stacy. Also, what's up? Thanks for joining the stream, Zane. How you doing? Yeah, I think they've already talked about a settlement. I think we're looking good. I think this is going to be the last reply until we hear back about a dismissal, or I think this is going to be the last reply we see until the 26th, unless if we see another reply from Nexon. That to me guarantees that Nexon is trying to get all of this shit thrown out or delayed as long as possible. That if we see another response from Nexon, they're fucking around. They're like no questions asked. They are on a slippery slope to trying to get all this stuff thrown out, and they don't care if they burn the court down in the process. So, this should be the last reply we see. It was a pretty decent one by Iron Mace. I wish it was a little bit better, but I think that overall they make a lot of solid points. There are two things that they could have made they could have used a little bit more evidence. But overall, this was a good document. I'm going to check in on place to make sure we're not getting destroyed over here. Sweet. All of our buddies are coming back. That torch is hilarious. What am I playing? I'm not playing anything right now. What should I play? You guys want me to hang out? My lady friend's taking a nap, and then I got to run some errands. But Korean Injunction should be happening in the next 30 to 60 days. I've never played Deep Rock Galactic. Is it good? Have a good night, Wolfram. Where are you if you're going to bed right now? Are you on like the East Coast or in EU? Red Faction? Dude, isn't that series like older? I haven't played that in forever. What's up, Jeremy? Evan Hansen, how you doing? Dag Nasty, what's up? Yeah, Dag Nasty, the Korean Injunction should be sometime in. We should know sometime at the very latest end of September. What up, Gadget Shark? Yeah, this document is pretty good overall. Like 8 out of 10 scale, I would put it at a 7. It wasn't like a banger. There was a few missteps in Iron Mace's point, like from my point of view, from Iron Mace, they could have sort of cited more evidence, but otherwise, they made a pretty valid point that Nexon is basically just lying through their teeth. There's a TLDR in the summary, or in the pin post. Heck yeah! What up, nerdy? I'm super glad to see all the members coming out. Little badges. I'm gonna try to make custom badges and custom emojis and stuff like that. I'm gonna be doing a contest on the Discord pretty soon to get some custom emojis. I just got to figure out the rules and got to figure out how to set it up. What do I have something really wrong? No, this isn't a reply to their reply. This is a reply to the reply, yeah, or to their opposition. Yeah, no, I know. the problem is that they're responding to responses too much. So if you read the article, I know it's unrelated to the non-convenience. It's related to the stay of the stay of the discovery, right? But that it still like counts, right? Um, it still like counts as a reply. So what I'm trying to say is like this one should be fine, but if Nexon replies to this and files another SIR reply, or replies like if there's another response to this response, I think that like there's going to be a slippery slope, right? So say Nexon responds to this and then Iron Mace responds again, or if Iron Mace responds to the response to the SIR reply, like it's just going to be like once that starts happening, there's a very good likelihood that this shit just gets thrown out completely. So like this is basically like the last acceptable response as far as I'm concerned, from either Iron Mace or Nexon, at least until we figure out what's happening with the stay of discovery or the 26th. Unless a new motion is filed, they could file for a new motion, but filing another motion right now until the like before the early case conference, since it's already the 21st, would be very questionable, right? So if Iron Mace and Nexon are playing this smart, we probably won't see anything else except for from the judge until the 26th. We should probably have radio silence until the 26th. At least I'm kind of hopeful. Unless Nexon is really messing around. But this one should be fine. This reply is not going to get Iron Mace in any trouble. But like if there's more after this, there's going to be some issues. Like if Nexon responds to this, or if Iron Mace responds to the SIR reply, there might be some issues. Like if we see a motion to add a SIR reply to this reply, Nexon's fucking around. If we see a motion for Iron Mace to add a SIR reply to Nexon's SIR reply, that means that Iron Mace is in trouble. So, and they really need to get a last word in because they think their case is fucked, right? Or they think that they might be in trouble. So, if we start seeing if any other new SIR replies come out, or any motions to grant SIR reply or motions to grant SIR replies come out, like this stuff is going to get really bad. Yeah, it's possible for the court to dismiss before the 26th of July. Yeah, I don't think Moss will fuck around, and I'm pretty sure that's who filed this. Let me look at the bottom. Oh no, this was oh yeah, by Aaron J. Moss. It was filed by Kristen Stewart or Kristen Nicholas. Kristen Nicholas, and then it was written by Aaron J. Moss and submitted by Michael E. Chait. So that's the dude from Seattle. Yep. So Aaron Moss wrote this, sent it to have it looked over by Michael E. Chait, and then he approved it, and Kristen Nicholas sent it in, or Kristen Nicholas certified it. I haven't seen anything from Korea today. So that means that either it wasn't made public or the Korean media haven't reported on it. Unless I've just missed it. That's also a high possibility. I'm not like as linked into the Korean media as I am the US court system. But yeah, Kabin, yeah, sorry if I misspoke. So this isn't a response to the SIR reply. This is a response to the stay of discovery. Is this response to the opposition of the stay of discovery? Yeah. Just to make that perfectly clear. Thanks for pointing that out, Kabian. I appreciate it. I haven't tried 2v2 in LoL yet. Maybe I should. How do I download that? Sign up for the PBE. I'm signing up for the PBE right now. What? Oh, I've already signed up. Just launch live and play it? Oh, it's already live on normal client? Oh, shit. Really? When did that happen? Well, now I just signed up for PBE for nothing. Multi-team arena. Is that what it is? Welcome to arena. Sweet, dude. Okay, yeah, I'll try some. Let me go over to live gaming and then I will window cap League of Legends. And then game audio, League of Legends. And then I gotta add game audio 2. Okay. Hold on 1 second. I'm messing with my. There we go. So there's a there's a TLDR at the top. It's like nothing super significant happened. There was some really good arguments made by Iron Mace. There was some poor arguments made by Iron Mace. Overall, I don't really think it changes anything. Heck yeah, Steven. You'll blow up one day. I mean, hopefully, my plan isn't to like. Honestly, my plan is to just have fun. Um, my goal is to hang out here and have fun with, people that are chill, and play games. And um, you know, I just want to do. If I make a little bit of extra money, that's rad. Um, and most of that money will go either into my own game development or upgrading the Steam. Um, like that's the whole point of me doing this, right? So like this, like any extra money that comes in either goes directly back into the streaming or it goes back into my game development. And like I'm here to hang out with you guys, help out the community, have fun, share information. I want to learn stuff too. And to be perfectly honest, this is kind of an exercise in personal growth for me because I've always been um, super camera shy and hated public speaking, and this is helping me with that a lot. It's also improving my video editing skills and skills that I use in my like consultant job and my like freelancer stuff. So like basically my day job. Um, but yeah, this is so it's helping me out personally, but it's also a way that I get to connect with you guys too, right? Like the community, and you guys are the main reason why I'm doing this. It's to hang out with you guys, play games with you guys, chat, um, and just overall have fun. If I become a bigger, like if I blow up and I start popping off and, I start getting, I've already gotten like over 100 people concurrent. I think the highest I've gotten was like 115, 112. And that was amazing. That was incredible for live streams. Some of my videos are breaking like 5K hits. I think one of my videos has like 13 or 14K now. And that's insane to me. I never even expected that. But yeah, I wanted to like thanks Shenzhen or Shenzi. I appreciate it. Yeah, I just want to hang out. Like I just want to hang out with you guys and share in this community and like, just be a chill dude and spread some positive vibes. And if I can do that through helping people learn about legal stuff, then I'll do that. Because I'm going to read this stuff anyway. I heard something really cool from a content creator once, and they were like, if you want to be successful at YouTube, just go about your daily life, and then when you find something that you're interested in that other people might be interested in, just turn the camera on. And if you're actually doing something interesting, people will start watching. So that's essentially what I did, right? I was playing New World. I was leading a company of like 120 people, and I thought I used to help out other small companies and newer companies. Like I would do training courses on how to do wars and stuff for them, and I would run some of their wars and teach them how to do like war planning and stuff for New World, and give them builds and strategies and stuff like that. And our guild got pretty successful and ended up taking 2 major territories in New World for like about a month and a half. And we were helping defend multiple territories at the same time. And we weren't like the best, but we were pretty good. So I just helped out the community over there. That got me to like 300 subs, but I wasn't really doing it for the subs. I was just doing it to help out my community. And then when, the game kind of took a downward hill, like it went downhill, and it just got like the wars got way too competitive, and they weren't allowing anybody new in. So it was like just me and like 4 of my other friends. Like our 5-man team would get invited to some wars, and then like I wouldn't be able to play with the rest of my friends during war because, either like they didn't have the time to practice, or not even that they weren't good. They just weren't as known as us. And so like it kind of ruined the fun for me. And then I found Dark and Darker, and I was like, hell yeah, this game's going to be my full-time thing. Ha, little did I know that this would all happen. And then I just started, I was like, well, shit, dude, how can I help out the Dark and Darker community? And I saw like Kira and One Peg's videos, and I was like, there's people interested in this stuff, but these guys are putting forward some like awesome information, but it doesn't seem like they have a full grasp on like the US legal system. And like, why would Kira? He's, like British and lives in Thailand. Like he's not going to study U.S. case law. Um, like that just doesn't make sense. So no fault to him. Um, and One Pig is a full time streamer. Like he's got like this is his day job. His day job is to go be live like 3 to 8 hours a day. Like it's hard for him to do this other shit, you know. And I have the time, so might as well just make some videos on it to help out the community. So I mean, if I do end up blowing up, that'd be rad. But it's not like something I am reliant upon or expect. I'm just happy that you guys like me. Yeah, right now I'm just kind of killing time and trying to help out the community from all around the world. That's right. I just want to now. I'm like, well, shit, dude. Dark and Darker's not here. What other games can I look into, and what other like news and stuff can I look into that might be exciting for you guys to watch? But Dark and Darker case content has been keeping me pretty busy. So, and then in my downtime, I just stream games. But yeah, just do what you do. We'll support you. Austin, thank you so much. I love you too, dude. I really really appreciate that. You guys are the best. Um, like I can't do this without you guys. Thank you so much for the super. I really really appreciate it. Um, like yeah, I mean honestly, thanks Austin. That's crazy. Um, yeah, I've not only did I fall in love with Dark and Darker, but like the community that has developed around this game is amazing. And the amount of support that you guys have given me, the amount of generosity, like Austin, just that's incredible. Um, the Battle of the Andrews, like earlier, like last week, was it? I mean, they between the two Austins, I think they bought me like a brand new setup, basically. Um, but yeah, it's just crazy. It's just insane. Um, and I just want to do the best. But I want to give my goal right now is to have fun and give you guys the best content I possibly can, and to be myself. That's really as far as I've gotten, to be perfectly honest. I just want to keep doing what I've been doing and having fun and hanging out with you guys. Um, but yeah, let's try this 2v2s. If anybody wants to jump in with me, let me know. I'm going to be first time 2v2ing. Austin, thanks again. I'm going to put you, if it's okay with you, I want to put you up in the scroll on the next video. Sweet, Andrew. Let's wreck some face. I probably have enough time for like one or two, and then I got to run some errands with the lady. We have to hit up the pharmacy and got to pick something else up. Steven Adams? You want to make a guest appearance in the scroll? So the scroll in the videos is for people who sign up. It's for members on the Patreon. It's for members on the Discord. I mean, members on the YouTube channel, and then people who donate through supers. But I'll throw you in there. You've been in a few streams, so I'll throw you in as a guest. So there's a TLDR at the top. Basically, this document really didn't have too much in it. It's just them reiterating a few arguments. And it was just Iron Mace reiterating a few arguments. So it's a response to Nexon's opposition to the stay of discovery. But there's not much going on. We might hear more between 8 to 10 p.m. And I'll be checking in on Pacer periodically. But yeah, we're just kind of waiting at this point. For sure. Yeah, I'll wait for you. But if we hear anything tonight, I'll probably do another live. Yeah, if we hear anything tonight, I'll probably jump back on live. And then if we hear more, I'll probably make a video about it tomorrow. I don't have an editor, so I do all my own editing, so I can't I can't have somebody watch a 4 hours with a live stream and condense it all into a video. That'd be rad though. What are the rules to join me in League? Pretty simple. Don't be a jerk. That's about it. Just don't be a jerk. Don't do anything that could get me banned from YouTube. That's basically it. Just be chill. You don't have to be good. I'm not even that great. I'm decent at TFT and decent at ARAMs, but that's it. Yeah, I don't do any subs only or any of that stuff. Nah. You guys are. I wouldn't be here streaming right now if it wasn't for you guys, right? So if you guys want to come and hang out with me in game, what's a good champ for this? 2v2? This isn't like an ADC support situation, right? Shit, dude. Rengar. I'm banning Rengar. I might do Bruiser Shen because he has a teleport. And he does a fuck ton of damage. Shaco might be another good one. Or Udyr. Lux and Cater, good combo. Oh, just ultimate poke. I think I might do Udyr.
Conflict feeds the failure.
Prepare your loadout. No runes or masteries? That's super odd. What if I get you guys banned from YouTube? If I get you guys banned from YouTube, oh, what the hell? I'm gonna do Bruiser. Whoa, what the hell? It's just hard buy items? Oh shit. I already used my flash. So is it just this tiny ass arena? Oh shit. Who are we going for? Oh, that new dog chick's out. Get him! No! Andrew, no! Get some. Hitting the weird plants will give cooldown. Oh, there's no sound game? Oh, there we go. Here, let me fix the in-game sound. Game audio 2 will be. There we go. Okay, I'm here. Get him! Get him! Oh, hold on. I gotta turn down the game audio in here. Dude, we're 2-0.
I channel the spirits I feel closest.
That's cool. So what do we... Oh, so we can buy stuff now? Oh, we have $1,700. Walk through walls? Nah, dude, I'm tanky. Tanky boy over here. Oh shit, Vane's gonna be an issue. I'm going after Mel's. Shit. No, we're gonna lose one. Or we might. If you might be able to pull us out. Andrew, go. No, shit. Ouch. 2-1, okay. Do I go full tank? Yeah, I think I have to. This motor's pretty rad. What's that dude in the middle? There we go. That was easy. What up, Steven? You're leaving? Hey, have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks for hanging out. My favorite Dark and Darker class, Mac, is our... Oh. There we go. Is probably Bard. I think Warlock's going to be one of my go-tos. Oh, you got me. Ah, shit. Close. What are these weapons? Oh, yes, please. 700 hit points? That's insane. I didn't even... Mal's is OP in this, dude. Mal's is OP. I need to get Force of Nature next, I think. So how do you know what summoner skills you have? Xandorum, not really much, to be honest. Iron made some pretty decent arguments, but it's not really like anything super significant. Yeah. Damn, dude. I need a Force of Nature, I think. With AP. I don't know.
And we're back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Strength is its joy. Boy's strength.
Get him. Fuck, dude. So close. Oh no. Sorry about that. I mean, Udyr's decent, but yeah, now that I know, Malzahar is OP in this because you just lock somebody down. That's insane. Yeah, I'm down to play another one. Let me, Oh shit, there's still 31 people here. You guys are freaking rule. But yeah, I mean, probably play Kate. Yeah, Kate's pretty good in this. Miles is probably pretty good. Range is just kind of OP. So, Ryan Miller, the best TLDR that I can give is that Iron Mace made a few good points. They kind of just refuted all the stuff that Nexon said. I might play. No, I want to ban. I'm actually going to ban Mal's, and then I'll probably play Ez. No, the decision in Korea isn't out for until the end of like the end of August or end of September. What was happening in Korea today was or actually, should I play Jinx? No, I'll play Ez. Actually, I kind of like that Bruiser idea. No. Varus, there we go. There we go. So the decision in Korea, or the thing in Korea today was the they were just turning over the investigation to the Korean court. So it was literally like that. We didn't know if it's going to be made public or not. We yeah, it was the investigators filing their report with the court system today in Korea. So we're kind of just waiting on Korean media to pick something up, because unless you're part of the Korean legal system, you can't really access the Korean law stuff. This mode is really fun. It's also super quick, which is rad. And then what happened today was today there was just Iron Mace's response to Nexon's Nexon asking the delay of discovery to be denied. Singed would be pretty good too. No. Damn it. So we did get an update from Iron Mace today. We should be getting an update hopefully sometime between 8 and 10. Ooh. What up, Spooky Skeleton? What up, Ryan Miller? Zero Drago. Yeah, we didn't really hear too much. We just got a response from Iron Mace. That's about it. Yeah, I'm done. That poison would have got me. Singed is brutal. So is Teemo. This is the 2v2 arenas. I gotta figure out what character I want to play with this. Yeah, it's the 2v2 game mode in LoL. It just came out. It's pretty fun, actually. There we go. I have my ult now. I'm gonna pick the Ghost Crawler shoes. Oh shit, Arcane Sweeper? Get him! He's in the fire. Nice, dude. Hey, what up, Chase? Yeah, this is the 2v2. I think I'm gonna go with Gale Force. This game is not as good as Dad, unfortunately. I really wish we had Dad, but this game, I mean, it's something to pass the time. It's free. Oh, shit. Ah, shit, really? Really? That was unfortunate. I got stunned into a stun. That sucked. I got stun locked. Yeah, right? I would totally pay $100 to play Dad. Yeah, I was thinking about playing, getting back into Baldur's Gate 3 because I have early access. It was on the court notation. So it's on the court calendar, Connor.
Bounty hunter extraordinaire, master of every weapon known to humankind, it's Samira!
Ah, fuck! I missed my ult. Fuck, dude. Yeah, I like it. I think it's fun.
No worldwide high-stakes tournament would be complete without purchasing performance-enhancing items.
This right here is brutal. It's only my second time playing the game mode.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Dude. I got fucking wrecked.
Has been eliminated.
Yeah, it's fun, Bobby. I mean, that was my second game. I'm trying to figure out what heroes are good. Teemo is one. Mal's was one. That Wolf Girl was one. I've seen Kane twice, I think now too. And Singe twice. But yeah, it's pretty fun. Yeah, I mean, I might play one more with Andrew, and then I'll probably play one with somebody else if anybody wants to play. I probably got like 2 or 3 more in me. They're pretty quick. I do cook, Cody. I was in school for culinary arts for a little bit. Night if you're down. Warwick and Nasus. Who do I want to be? I'm gonna ban Teemo. I did not like that.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, add me on if you guys want to play, just add me. I'll play with whoever. Even if I'm not streaming, you can just add me. Like, and we'll play. Jump in voice or whatever. You're picking Heck. I might do when
Justice takes wing.
slap your mama. It's good on chicken. I do a lot of like pulled chicken, so basically I do slow cooked chicken in a crock pot and make like chicken tacos and chicken burritos and stuff. It's super good. Super good. I have my own spice recipe that I take dried. I took a bunch of dried spices and put them all in a coffee grinder. So it's like a little bit of dried habanero with dried Looks like a bunch of different chili peppers.
Oh, not all of you have loads? Oh, that's right. It's a fight to the death kind of tournament.
It's like a little bit of habanero, not too much. It's not super spicy. Then I think I have some like serrano peppers and California peppers, and I think some dried jalapenos. And like I just dry roasted them all, and then I ground them up into in a coffee grinder.
Need eyes on him. Gouge Valor.
Yeah.
The plan, Val.
That's hilarious.
Go for the eyes.
Oh, good call. Good shit. Good shit, Andrew. I didn't even think of that. That was good shit. Knock them into the fire. Local festivals? Yeah, I live around Portland, so sometimes I go to Portland Saturday Market. I used to actually be a vendor down there. But yeah, I'll get some Slap Your Mama for sure. I'm always down for some good seasonings. Yeah, we reviewed the new document already. Dariel, there's a TLDR up at the top.
What do you see up there? Sometimes I feel that bird is going out.
This blind is so clutch. Got him.
Our winners are Team Scuttle. No worldwide high-stakes tournament would be complete without purchasing performance-enhancing items.
There's a court calendar. There's a simple court calendar on the. There's like a deadlines calendar on Pacer, and then I have access to a few additional tidbits of information, but I'm not really supposed to share those. So like, I share like what I can. I called the court administrator, and I know a few of the other dates, but there's not much that it's not really important. Damn, I'm dead. Get up. That's a good team. Cirrus, there's a small TLDR at the top. The Korean investigation or the Korean report may or may not be public. We don't know yet. So yeah, we don't know if that'll be public or not. We're just kind of waiting on the Korean media for that. If we see it, we see it. If we don't, we don't. there's not really much we could do there. I don't have access to the Korean court documents.
Flush 'em out.
For sure. I usually get names terribly wrong. Always prioritize attacking the healing plants. Good idea.
Buy me some time.
I'm ulting.
Go for the eyes. Valor to me. A bird's eye view is the best thing. Val stealing all the glory again.
Got him. Oh, shit! Oh!
I can't wait to see that augment in action.
Thanks, Bobby. Yeah, dude, hit me up on 2v2s whenever. Thanks for watching.
Demacia is counting on us.
Thanks, Diablo. How you doing? What, dude? Shit. Good shit, good shit. GG's, Andrew. Good shit. Yeah, the TLDR for the document is that Iron Mace made some good arguments. They made a few ones that I think were a little bit poor without evidence. And then the main point was they just kind of rehashed the arguments. They didn't really make any new arguments. They rehashed a few old arguments and basically said that if Discovery was so important to Nexon, why didn't they ask for anything earlier? But yeah, I mean, that's really it. I'm just chilling, playing games. I got to run some errands on a little bit. But after that, I'm kind of just waiting on more documents and running it. And then I'm going to, well, right now I got to run errands after like one or two more of these. And then, I'm waiting for more court documents. No, we haven't heard any updates from the court itself yet. This is just from Iron Mace's reply to Nexon's opposition to the delay of Discovery. I think we should. Probably just around like 8 or 10, if not. This latest document might have delayed shit a little bit. Fuck. What is that dart?
We'll be back after a quick break.
Oh, Spellblade seems good. Yeah, I'm gonna do Spellblade. Hopefully we have more documents between 8 to like 8 to 10 tonight. I'll check Pacer here in a little bit.
got this covered.
Round start.
Eyes in the sky. Need eyes on him.
Damn it. Was that Ash? Tried to take that heal. I might help out Canada. Where is Canada? No, Canada! Poor Canada.
Who will die? Stay tuned to find out. I don't know how they do it. If I had to choose between 3 equally game-changing abilities, I'd lose my freaking mind.
Poor Canada's getting wrecked.
Start.
Valor to me. Stick to the plan, Val. Eyes in the sky.
Get him.
Find me a path.
Round winners.
We got him. Good shit.
And a hush falls over the crowd as the fighters exchange legal tender for objects of indeterminate worth.
Just like hunting for antiques.
I'm not sure who called next game. What up, Face Eb? Yeah, I'll probably just write up and post a TLDR after this match and then play one more. I'll probably try to get in with somebody else. Andrew, if that's okay.
Sometimes I swear that bird is just showing off. What do you see up there?
Good shit. Good shit, Andrew. Also, Arcade Hack Room is the best hack room. Oh, there's a heal up here. It's in the fire now. It's like just barely out. Oh, you might be able to get it. Yeah, just kill him. Nice.
Team Krog will not be moving on. Our tourney's gracious benefactor put a
Going with rapid fire.
so make it worth his while.
I wonder if this will carry over into the fight. My ult. Oh, we're 2 down in health between these guys?
Stay alert.
Fuck. Second place, not terrible. Good shit, Andrew. Oh, victory? Oh, they got victory. Andrew, I think I'm gonna play with Cody or whoever. What up, Sebastian? How are you doing today? GG's, Andrew. Thanks for joining. Yeah, Cody, add me as a friend, or I can add you. It's just Derp Wigglies, and I'll probably play one with you, and then I'll probably head out. So yeah, let me basically make a. Doing good. Sweet. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm on the NA server, NA West. There, I'll just have that as a TLDR. Sweet. You ready? Is that you, Cody, or who? Is that you, Cody? Midnight Faith. Let's get it. Yeah, I'd be down. Yeah, if you guys are ever playing, just hit me up. Send me friend requests. Like, I'm here because of you guys. You know, like I serve at the will of the community. So let's get it. Let's play games. Let's hang out. What do I not want? I really don't want to see Singed.
I hear you.
Oh, Kane got banned. I think I'm gonna go with Mal's. Shadow Prince Malzahar. And I'm just gonna ult the shit out of people. Whoever's the squishiest, I'm gonna ult him and you kill him. Also, I just like this skin. Shadow Prince Mal's is rad. That's a rad Yon skin. Oh, dude, Nunu and Willump and Tom Kench. That's a brutal team.
From the rings of wrath, it's a beautiful day for a series of increasingly intense 2v2 battles. Piercing winds.
They have a lot of tanks. My stream is throwing you off a little bit. Yeah, it took a little while to get used to me streaming and playing at the same time too. Shit, I let him get that. He's dead. Got him. Got him. I just hid behind my creeps, dude.
Witness me, my prophet.
I have no idea what Grasp of the Undying is. Oh shit, sorry. Fuck, I didn't mean to do that. Shit, I accidentally killed you, dude. Sorry. Sorry, Cody. Fuck. I accidentally killed my own buddy.
Exchange legal tender for objects of indeterminate worth.
I got my ult now though, so we're chill. I'm ulting the squishy. I guess in this case it'd be Nunu. Damn it. There we go. Yeah, percent HP damage. We did it!
Our winners are Team Minion.
Team Minion.
And now, word from our sponsors.
Guess I'm firing a boomerang every 7 seconds. Mira. Sweet. What up, Mr. Diablo? What's up? Yeah, I'm glad the TLDR helps you out. We're waiting on more information. Should be some more information coming around 8 to 10. After this game, I'm probably going to run to the store and do my errands so I can be back by 8. And if there's more info, I'll hop back on stream and read it.
No worldwide high-stakes tournament would be complete without purchasing items. I love money. Piercing winds. It's fighting time.
Yeah, I think my next item's going to be a Morello's.
Much as he loves his mom, and he sure does love his mom.
Fuck yeah, dude. We just wrecked them. There we go. Morello's. The new information should be something from the court. We should hear something from the court pretty soon. Hopefully sometime between 8 and 10. If not, maybe Monday. And it should be the decision on the to delay the discovery. Shit, I didn't get my ult off. Yeah, 8 Pacific time is probably when it'll drop because it's in Seattle. And the court database is refreshed at around 8 to 10. I believe it's closer to 10. So we should have information then. So hopefully we get a decision on the stay of discovery. So some kind of decision. Oh, yes, please. Casting my ult makes me invulnerable? I'll take that. But yeah, what's everybody else up to? Chilling? Thanks for joining in. Thanks for watching. Of course, Andrew C. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. Wait, why are we not going to the... Are we sitting out around? Whoa, what the heck was that storm of blades there? That was nutty.
Come on, let's get back to the fight. As rock and roll as she can be, here to prove herself once and for all, it's love!
Nice.
Round set, winner!
Kappa juice. Active. Consume. Does nothing.
He already died once, so he's got nothing to fear. Rising up into the arena, ice motion.
What the hell? There we go.
That's some S-tier fighting. Team Krog will not be moving on. Piercing winds.
Use of power. I'm styling. Oh yeah. We did it. We win. We win, Cody. We win. We did it. What's up, Imperiac? Yo, we won. Whoop whoop. What, third or fourth time's the charm? Mal's is just broken, dude. GG's. We win, dude. So I think I'm actually going to call it a day on that, and then if there's more documents, I'll come back and stream. I got to run some errands, and then after I stream later, if I get through all the documents or whatever, if there's stuff, I'll be streaming again, and then I might play some more Aram. But yeah, if you guys are here, like if you guys ever see me online, my name's Derp Wigglies, on obviously on YouTube, and then it's Derp Wigglies on League of Legends too. So if you want to play some 2v2s or whatever, just hit me up, add me as a friend. We could chill, play whatever. I also do play games on my Discord. So like if I'm ever just chilling and don't really feel like getting on live stream, I'll just be chilling on the Discord, and yeah, playing games. So if you guys want to play games and hang out in voice or whatever, just hit me up. Yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out. Thanks for coming out. You guys are the best. This community is amazing. I love you guys. You guys are rad. Yeah, thanks again. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. If I don't see you tomorrow, or I mean, if I don't see you today, later. If I do, welcome back to, like, come back to the stream if I'm back on and you guys are around. But yeah, have an awesome rest of your day. Peace.